Dear friends, Happy New Year and welcome to the first Wednesday Word of 2023. On Friday, 12 days after Christmas, the church celebrates the Epiphany. Now, the Epiphany means revelation, and it commemorates the visit of the Magi to worship Jesus after it had been revealed to them that the King of the Jews had been born in Bethlehem. You can read the story in Matthew chapter 2. Now, the Magi were, as far as we know, the first non-Jewish people to acknowledge Jesus as Lord and to worship him as God. Nowadays, the Magi have become conflated with the angels, the shepherds, the donkey, the star, Mary and Joseph, the baby Jesus, and assorted animals in our Christmas nativity services and plays. But their visit to Bethlehem occurs sometime after Jesus' birth, and it's good to remember it separately. The Magi stand in stark contrast to Herod, who was the puppet king of Judea. Herod was so fearful of being deposed that he killed his mother, his wife, and 2 of his sons. Caesar Augustus quipped that it was safer to be Herod's pig than his son. His paranoia was fueled by his being only half Jewish, and he was terrified that his throne might be usurped by a true Jew. And now one has been born, a king, from great King David's line, born in the town of Bethlehem, as Micah the prophet had predicted. No wonder he wanted to kill him rather than worship him. But as he did, hundreds, perhaps thousands of baby boys were slaughtered. They also stand in contrast to the chief priests and the teachers of the law, who have known for generations that the Messiah was to be born in Bethlehem. They're quite happy to inform Herod and the Magi of the Messiah's birthplace, but they show no desire to hurry off to Bethlehem to see for themselves. Don't you think this is extraordinary? The chief priests who were responsible for worship in the temple, and the teachers of the law who were the official teachers and interpreters of the Old Testament scriptures, seem to show no inclination to leave the comfort of Jerusalem when they hear that the long-awaited Messiah has been born in Bethlehem. They seem to utterly miss the point. Instead, these mysterious Eastern Magi, who weren't kings, nor were they particularly wise, and who might well have included women as well as men, they were the ones who saw the star and took it as a sign that the King of the Jews had been born. How did they know? It may be they had access to the Jewish scriptures. Numbers 21:17 says, "A star will come out of Jacob, a scepter will rise out of Israel." And Isaiah 60 verse 3 says, "Nations will come to your light, and kings to the brightness of your dawn." Maybe this is where their search had begun. But whatever their motivation, they are incredibly persistent in their search for the King of the Jews, brave in their outwitting of Herod's schemes, and sacrificial in their worship of the baby king, offering him their most precious gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. What can we learn from this ancient account? Well, surely in Herod we see the 2,000-year-old desire to get rid of Jesus that still rears its satanic head in the persecution of God's people today. Open Doors estimates that 260 million Christians are being persecuted for their faith. In the chief priests and teachers of the law, we see the tendency of some religious people to be so caught up in their rules and regulations and rituals that they fail to see what their faith is all about, the worship of Jesus. But in the Magi, we see the wonderful example of people who are seeking Jesus, finding him and worshipping him with their whole beings. They are passionate about Jesus, as our church motto encourages us to be. May this be our inspiration for 2023. As I said at the family service on Sunday, Lord Jesus, thank you for dying for me. Help me to worship you in 2023. God bless you today.